Hey Run Junkies, I know many of you are headed down to Walt Disney World's 10th anniversary of Run Disney's Princess Half Marathon event. I know for many of you this is maybe your first Run Disney event, maybe your first major running event at all. I know a lot of you might have some concerns and some questions, and I want to help you out a little bit with that. I wanted to walk you through some of the highlights of the Princess Half Marathon event guide. Now, real quick, I want to tell you that I am not participating in Princess Half Marathon weekend, nor have I ever been down to participate in this event. However, there are a lot of similarities between the Princess Half Marathon event and the Walt Disney World Marathon weekend events. The course maps, corrals, and start and finish areas are all very similar, and the event guides are very similar in many respects. So instead of sounding like a broken record, I thought I would bring you highlights from past videos that will give you an idea of what to expect also from Princess Half Marathon weekend. But first, let's talk about the Expo and packet pickup. Run Disney's Health and Fitness Expo opens on Thursday, February 22nd from noon to 8 p.m. If you have VIP race retreat access, you may go in early. Check your event guide for details on that. There is no packet pickup on race morning for any of the events except for the kids' races. Therefore, you have to pick up your bib and packet the day before your race. But now let's talk about transportation and Expo tips. Okay, let's talk about transportation. This is probably the most complicated aspect logistically for race organizers. So before I get into talking about specifics of transportation, I just want to ask that you be gracious and patient. Okay, transportation runs from all Walt Disney World Resort hotels, plus the Swan and Dolphin resorts and the Shades of Green resort, to all race venues. That includes the start line, the finish line, and the Expo. The race buses themselves do not run between any of those venues directly to the parks themselves. So if you want to go straight from the race to the park, you do have to go through a hotel first. Okay, social media is a great way to keep up with what's happening at Run Disney, especially during race weekend. And if you don't already follow Run Disney on Twitter, I strongly encourage you to do so. This is how they communicate the up-to-the-minute news, and if there are any major changes, they will tweet those out. You might also share your pictures via social media using these hashtags. There may also be more race-specific hashtags as we get closer to the event, so keep an eye out for those as well. As of this shooting, the maps for the Expo and the exhibitors are not yet available, so check back to the Princess Half Marathon event guide as you get closer to the event, though they will update those maps as you get closer. Next up, I want to tell you about how to get to your start lines and through your courses successfully. The pre-race information page outlines so many of the details that you need before you even start your race day, so please check that out in the event guide. For the gear bag check, at the Expo, you should have received a clear plastic drawstring bag that your t-shirts came in. That is the bag you must use for gear check. Now, if you can get by without it, I personally recommend not bringing a gear bag. It's just one more thing to deal with before and after your race. And there will be security checkpoint areas, and every bag is subject to search, so it just slows down the process to get in to begin with. If you do bring a gear bag, do not leave any valuables inside it when you check it. Bring a ditchable layer to the start area. These races start really early in the morning, and at that time of day, it can be very cold, a little bit chilly out. So it might be helpful to have something to keep yourself warm before the start, and then as you start running, you can drop it along the side of the road. What happens then is the volunteers will come by, gather all of those up, and donate them to a charity. Your bib is your entry into the corral area. Make sure that that bib is clearly pinned to your clothing, or you have a bib belt. So let's get into the race courses. The start staging area for all races takes place in the Epcot Wonderlot. Buses drop you off east of security, and you are funneled into a large gathering area. There will be a DJ, and on either side of the stage are character photo opportunities. Let's break this down into the 5K and 10K start and finishes first. Both of these races start at 5:30 a.m. This is a change from the 2017 race, so please remember that the 5K does start at 5:30. 5:30. But the thing I want to emphasize is that you really do want to get to those buses early. For the 5K and the 10K, you must be on a bus no later than 4 a.m. in order to get to your start corral on time, but those buses start running at 3 a.m. and sometimes they will even be sitting outside your resort hotel before that. Getting on your bus early just helps spread time out for you as you get to your corrals. The 5K race starts with a quick mile around the Epcot parking area into the backstage areas under Test Track. Then a quick tour around Epcot, and there is one water stop as you enter World Showcase between Norway and China. Around World Showcase, you may find a few character selfie stations and lots of photo pass opportunities. You turn out of Epcot at the International Gateway, backstage briefly, then back in at the Rose and Crown. You turn into Future World with a quick out and back past Soarin', then out to the finish line. This race is quick with a lot going on in a short period of time. So have fun with this, and frankly, take your time. Don't rush through it. And there are a couple of reasons why I say that. The first reason is that the 5K is not timed, and there are a lot of opportunities for families to run together. There's just a lot going on. The second reason is that the buses at the end of the race actually can't start running until all of the runners have cleared the first half mile of the course. So even if you're in the first corral and you blast through, you might be waiting for a long time before you can get on a bus back to your hotel. So just take your time with it and have fun. The 10K corrals are in the same area as the 5K corrals, but the difference here is that you spend some time about the first half of the race out on the roads around Epcot. Look for lots of great characters in the first couple of miles. There is one hairpin turn at mile 1, which will have some bottlenecking around it, and then a water stop just short of mile 2. You enter into World Showcase, and the course is the same as the 5K here, with a water station just as you enter Epcot. Once you are back out the International Gateway, you then go all the way around the boardwalk area and past yacht and beach club resorts. There is a water stop at the end of the boardwalk at about mile 4.5. You enter back into Epcot at Great Britain, and you run straight out to the finish line. Keep an eye out for photo ops with characters out on the roads and in the parks. The backstage areas don't always have a lot going on, but you might see some entertainment. Bus and monorail starts operations at 3 a.m. And the event guide suggests that if you are taking the monorail, that you be on the monorail no later than 3:30 a.m. in order to make it to your corral start in time. But the big difference is that you have a 20-minute walk from that staging area out to the corrals. And that right there is why you want to be on the bus early. Looking at the Corral Maps, there are fewer corrals this year, but that doesn't mean there are fewer people. Each corral will be broken down into several mini waves, so 100 or 200 people will go every couple of minutes or so. This allows the runners to spread out and avoid congestion in those first few miles. There's not nearly as much dodging and weaving right away. The 10th anniversary Princess Half Marathon begins at 5:30 a.m. on Sunday, February 25th, with two noticeable changes from previous years. Instead of entering Magic Kingdom from backstage, you run straight in through the main gate. Also, instead of cliff shots, the nutrition aid station will have Jelly Belly sport beans. Basically, it's out to Magic Kingdom and back. Your first 4 miles are on open road until you pass the Ticketing and Transportation Center and enter around mile 5 through the front gate of Magic Kingdom. You turn right into Tomorrowland, then run counterclockwise through the park, coming out from Cinderella's Castle. You then exit at mile 6 near Big Thunder Mountain Railroad. Then you go backstage again and then onto open road, where you will find a nutrition stop just past mile 8. They will have Jelly Belly sport beans there. You run up a cloverleaf turn, then into Epcot's main gate, a quick turnaround, and then back out to the finish line. There are 9 aid stations with water and Powerade. Lots of support on the course. You can view your PhotoPass pictures within even a few hours of your race finish on the My Disney Experience app. To claim your race photos, you can follow the instructions on the back of your bib to enter your bib ID. The IDs look like this, and you will replace the X's with your bib number. Corral's bibs and waivers for Princess Half Marathon weekend were just released, so let me walk you through some of the final points on how to find that waiver, figure out your bib number, and figure out what your corral placement is for the weekend. On the Run Disney website, under Events, click on the Princess Half Marathon. On the Princess page, then click on the Runner's Info, then Waivers. You will be taken to a page where you will enter your name and birth date to pull up your waiver. If you are participating in the Fairy Tale Challenge, you have one waiver for both events. At the bottom of your waiver, you will see your name and bib number. Print out the waiver, sign it, and bring it with you to the Expo. Then go back to the Princess event page and click on Communications. There you will see links to the Corral assignments for the challenge and the half marathon. There are a lot of questions about corrals and bibs, so let me address a few of those here. First of all, if you are in a different corral than a companion with whom you're traveling, the person in the earlier corral may move back, but the person in the later corral must stay there. They cannot move up. If the information on your waiver is incorrect, or if your corral assignment does not reflect your proof of time results that you submitted, head over to Runner Relations at the Expo. 5K and 10K corral assignments are not available until you receive your bib at the Expo. Each corral will be split up into what they're calling mini waves. Run Disney has played a lot with this in the last couple of years, and it works extremely well. All this means is that within each corral, volunteers will string ropes a few times across that corral, splitting the whole big corral section into smaller sections. The last people to start will be the balloon ladies, and they have 7 hours to finish. But that about wraps up the Princess Half Marathon event guide. If you have any questions or concerns about how this event is going to go, please don't hesitate to leave them in the comment section down below. Like and share this video, and please subscribe if you haven't already. If you are headed down to Florida for Walt Disney World's Princess Half Marathon weekend, have fun, be safe. That is it for me today. Thanks so much for watching. Go find your awesome. Until next time, happy running.